Hello everyone. In today's video, we are looking at a few simplification techniques which are highly useful in all competitive exams. We are finding the square root of 12 plus square root of 12 which goes up to infinity. First, I will show you the shortcut which you can do in just a second without pen and paper in your mind. Then I will take you through the logical explanation for the shortcut used here. In the shortcut, what we do is look at the number 12. You write it as product of two numbers such that the difference between these two numbers is 1. See, you can factorize 12 into two numbers in other ways also, like 6 multiplied by 2 or 12 multiplied by 1. But in these cases, the difference doesn't turn out to be 1, like in the case of 4 multiplied by 3. That is the first step. Then look at the bigger number here, 4. That will be the answer to the third given here. Now I'll take you through the logical explanation. Using the longer approach, if you're interested, you may go through this also. In the second method, write the given surd and let it be equal to, say, x. In the next step, you square this equation. While squaring, the first root sign goes off and you will have 12 plus square root of, from this it will go on, 12 plus 12, yeah, it goes up to infinity, and the right side is x squared. Now look at this term, this is just x, because only 112 has been removed from here, from infinity, so the rest of it will be just x. So you can write it like this is x, and the right side is x squared. Now take these two terms to the right side. On the right you have already x squared. Then minus x minus 12 equals 0. You got a quadratic equation. Solve this equation. For factorizing this, you write x squared first. Then minus x you will split as two terms, like minus 4x plus 3x. See, on simplifying, you will get minus x. And then write minus 12. In the next step, take the first two steps. You can see x being common there. Factor it out. You will have x minus 4. In the next two terms, 3 is common. Let me take it out. Inside you get x minus 4 equal to 0. Now there are two terms and x minus 4 is common in each of them. Let me factor it out. So x minus 4. Inside you get this x plus 3 equals 0. This implies x minus 4 equals 0 or x plus 3 equals 0. That means taking 4 to the other side, you get x equal to 4. Taking 3 to the other side, you get minus 3. You got two solutions. The given expression is clearly a positive number. Look at this, 12 plus root 12. When simplifying this, there's no question of getting a negative number because all the terms are positive numbers and they are all connected by positive signs. So minus 3 may be rejected. X is equal to 4. That's how I wrote in the shortcut 4 as the answer. For competitive exams, you don't need to take to this longer approach discussed here. Like I said, you factorize this number 12 into two numbers, 4 and 3, so that the difference is 1. And use the bigger number. That will be the answer to the given surd to be simplified. Now, this longer approach I gave you to help you simplify problems of this kind. Instead of 12, I'm writing 7. It goes up to infinity. What do you do in this case? No shortcut is possible to simplify this because 7, the only way you can factorize 7 is 7 and 1. And the difference between these two numbers is not 1. So shortcut does not work in this problem. Given a problem like this, like we did in the longer approach before, you write it as x, then square it. While squaring, you will be getting this first root sign removed. and 7 will be left over. And the remaining terms, it will go like this. 7 plus root 7 plus it goes up to infinity equals x. This part is just x. Okay. So you have 7 plus. Okay. On the right side, you will be getting squared. While squaring on the left, this is what you have. On the right, you have x squared. Now 7 plus this much is x equals x squared. Taking these two terms to the right side and interchanging the positions of these expressions, you have x squared minus x minus 7 equals 0. You got a quadratic equation. Just solve this. To solve this quadratic equation, our factorization method will work like we did before. So let's go to the formula approach. There, x is equal to, this is the formula we use to solve a quadratic equation, minus b plus or minus b square minus 4ac divided by 2a, where a, b, c is what? They are the coefficients of the quadratic equation. A is the coefficient of x square, which is 1. B is the coefficient of the second term x, which is minus 1, and C is the constant term, which is minus 7. Just substitute those numbers here. So minus 1, because B is minus 1, plus or minus B square, that is minus 1, the whole square, minus 4. A is 1. C is the constant term, which is minus 7. The whole divided by 2 multiplied by 1. This on simplifying, minus 1 is plus 1, plus or minus. This is minus 1 square is 1. This on simplifying you get plus 28. So the whole thing will reduce to 29 divided by 2. So there are two solutions. 1 plus 29 divided by 2 or 1 minus 29 root 29 divided by 2. Which one would you accept as the value of the given surd to be simplified? This will not be the answer because this is clearly a negative number. So this may be rejected because the given series or the given surd is clearly a positive number. So we accept this as the value. This is the reason I showed you the longer approach, because in this case, you cannot write the number 7 as product of two numbers so that the difference of these two numbers turns out to be 1. Now let's look at the second similar problem. This problem is slightly different from the one given before. The infinite series had all the terms connected by plus sign. Here we have minus sign. So what do you do in this case? The same shortcut we can use. You take the number 12, like we did, write it as product of two numbers, where you have the difference of these two factors being 1. 4 minus 3, 1. When you have plus sign, 4 is the answer. For this series, where you have negative sign, the smaller one will be the answer. That means this is equal to 3. That's all. So the procedure is the same. When you have plus sign, the bigger number will be the answer. When you have minus sign, the smaller number will be the answer. That's all. If you take another problem, say supposing you have 110 minus 110 minus 110 goes up to infinity. You can write the answer in just a second. What do you do? In the first step, you take 110, write it as product of two numbers, 11 and 10, where you can see the difference between these two numbers being 1. Then 10 will be the answer to this infinite series because you have minus sign. 11 would have been the answer if you had plus sign here. That's all. Here I am not taking you through the longer approach. If you want, you can use the longer approach here also. See, the longer approach gives you the logical explanation. And also there are cases when you have the numbers given, like in this case 12, in this case 110. These numbers are splittable as product of two numbers with a difference of 1. But if you have a problem like this, see, look at this. Take 8. It goes up to infinity. You can't apply the shortcut used here because 8 you cannot split. See, In how many different ways can you split 8? You can write it as 8 multiplied by 1. See, 8 minus 1 is not 1. You should get 1 here. Again, in the second splitting, 4 and 2. Again, 4 minus 2 not equal to 1. See, the shortcut is applicable only when you can split the given number as product of two numbers so that the difference of the two factors is 1, which is not always possible. So what do you do in such cases? You go for the longer approach discussed before. That's all. Now we will look at a slightly different problem where you have an infinite series like this. Say, let me begin with 12 multiplied by 12 multiplied by 12, and it goes up to infinity. How do you simplify this? Here the shortcut is even simpler than what I showed you for the other infinite series where you had the terms connected by plus and minus sign. Here the terms are connected by multiplication sign. The answer is just 12. That's all. Nothing else. So in a product series like this, the answer is just the number given here. Here, even if you have a number like, say, 9, what will be the answer? That is just 9. Doesn't matter what number you have. Whatever number you have will be the final answer. That's all. Whereas in the case of other series, you need to split the number and find out the factors with a difference of 1. And if there are no such factors, you go for the longer approach. But for a series like this, when the terms are connected by multiplication, you write whatever number you have here. That's all. If you think you learned something from this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel to see many more interesting simplification techniques very useful in the quantitative aptitude of all competitive exams. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.